If you have ever stood in your garden, looking at your plants with a sense of quiet frustration, you are not alone. Perhaps your tomato plants are growing tall, but refusing to set blossoms, or maybe the lower leaves of your pepper plants are starting to turn yellow at the edges, curling upward like tiny cups. When this happens, your garden is screaming for help. These are classic textbook signs of a severe potassium deficiency. Potassium is essentially the engine of plant metabolism. It regulates the opening and closing of stomata, which are the microscopic pores on leaves that allow a plant to breathe, transpire, and photosynthesize. Without adequate potassium, a plant cannot manage its internal water pressure, leaving it weak, highly susceptible to disease, and completely unable to produce those heavy, juicy fruits we all dream of harvesting. Most gardeners run straight to the local garden center to buy expensive, synthetic chemical fertilizers. However, there is a secret that old-time organic growers have kept close to their chests for generations. One of the absolute richest, most bioavailable sources of organic potassium is currently sitting right in your kitchen trash can. Never throw away banana peels after eating them. You are literally tossing out a goldmine of plant nutrition. When prepared correctly, these humble peels can transform a struggling garden into a lush paradise overflowing with vibrant blossoms and sweet, heavy fruits. But here is where the real secret begins. If you simply toss a whole banana peel onto the soil, it takes months to break down, and it might even attract pests or create a greasy barrier that prevents water from reaching the roots. To unlock this hidden power, you must cut the banana peels into very small, fine pieces, ideally no larger than a quarter of an inch. By dicing the peels, you break open the cellular walls of the banana skin, exposing the nutrient-rich inner fibers directly. This increases the surface area exponentially, allowing the vital minerals to release into the liquid up to 3 times faster than if you left the peels whole. Once your peels are finely diced, place them into a clean glass jar. Glass is ideal because it is completely inert and won't leach any unwanted chemicals into your organic fertilizer. Next, add 500 milliliters of clean, room temperature water. If you can use rainwater or filtered, dechlorinated water, your plants will thank you even more, as chlorine can sometimes disrupt the delicate balance of beneficial microbes in your soil. The potassium locked inside those peels is the ultimate key to stimulating a robust, deep root system. It acts as a cellular pump, helping the plant draw up water and other essential nutrients from deep within the earth. But its magic doesn't stop at the roots. Potassium is the primary driver behind uniform flowering, ensuring that when your plants decide to bloom, they do so all at once. And if you are growing tomatoes, peppers, or berries, this potassium infusion enhances the natural sugars within the fruit, resulting in a harvest that is incredibly sweet, rich, and flavorful. Now let nature do its work. Seal the jar and let this mixture soak for at least 6 hours, though letting it steep overnight is the absolute best way to ensure a complete nutrient extraction. As the hours pass, the water will gradually change color, shifting from clear to a beautiful, light amber brown, signaling that your potassium elixir is ready. After soaking, when the water turns that rich light brown hue, your potassium elixir is ready to serve your garden. But before you run outside to pour it onto your plants, there is an incredibly crucial step that many beginner gardeners skip, often with disastrous results. You must use a clean, tightly woven cloth or a very fine mesh strainer to completely filter out all remaining solid banana pieces. This step is absolutely vital for the long-term health of your soil and plant roots. When you leave tiny organic particles in the liquid, they settle on top of the soil and create a perfect breeding ground for white mold, fungal pathogens, and harmful anaerobic bacteria right at the base of your plants. These pathogens can easily attack the delicate stem and root system, causing root rot. By filtering the liquid until it is completely clear of solids, you ensure that the nutrients remain in their purest, most bioavailable liquid form, allowing the plant's root hairs to absorb the potassium immediately through osmosis. Now let's talk about the application, because how you water is just as important as what you water with. Before you pour a single drop of this golden elixir, Grab a small hand fork and gently loosen the top layer of soil around the base of your plants. Most gardeners don't know this, but over time, watering and weather create a hard, compacted crust on the surface of the soil. This crust acts like a shield, preventing oxygen from circulating down to the roots and causing liquids to simply run off the sides instead of penetrating deep into the ground. By gently breaking up this hardened surface layer, you allow the soil to breathe and create tiny pathways that will guide your homemade fertilizer straight down to the root zone. Once the soil is loose and aerated, pour this clear, nutrient-rich solution directly onto the loosened earth. For the best results, apply this treatment consistently once a week. Think of it as a weekly wellness shot for your garden. Your plants will receive a steady, pure source of energy that fuels their daily growth. What happened next in my own garden absolutely surprised me, and it is a phenomenon you will soon witness for yourself. The results became visible just days later. Around day 10 to 12 of consistently supplying this organic banana peel nutrient, you will notice a sudden surge of life. The very first flower buds, which may have been dormant or struggling to form, will suddenly begin to swell. Within days, they will burst open into vibrant, healthy blooms. If you are growing fruiting crops like tomatoes or eggplants, these flowers will quickly pollinate and develop into clusters of lush, heavy green fruits. The transition from a stagnant, struggling plant to one teeming with reproductive energy is nothing short of magical. While banana peels are the undisputed champions of potassium, your garden requires a balanced diet to reach its full, breathtaking potential. If you notice that your plants are looking pale, with their older leaves turning a sickly yellow while the veins remain green, or if their overall growth seems stunted and sluggish, they are crying out for other critical elements: nitrogen, magnesium, and phosphorus. Nitrogen is the building block of chlorophyll, the compound that gives plants their deep green color. Magnesium is the central atom in the chlorophyll molecule, acting as the heart of the plant's energy production system, while phosphorus is crucial for root development and early growth. This is where our second closely guarded gardening secret comes into play: coffee grounds. Professional growers and master gardeners have long kept the true power of coffee grounds hidden, but today we are stripping away the mystery. Coffee grounds are an incredibly rich source of these three vital nutrients. However, there is a massive catch that most people get wrong. Many well-meaning gardeners take wet, warm coffee grounds straight from their morning brew and dump them directly onto their garden beds. This is a critical mistake that can actually stunt your plants. Wet coffee grounds form a thick, cake-like barrier on top of the soil that completely blocks oxygen and water from reaching the roots. Furthermore, as wet coffee grounds slowly decompose in the open air, they rob the soil of nitrogen in the short term, leaving your plants starved. This is the step many people skip. You must dry your coffee grounds completely before using them for fertilizer. Spread your used grounds in a thin layer on a baking sheet and let them dry in the sun until they are bone dry and crumbly to the touch. This simple drying process stabilizes the organic compounds and prepares them for a perfect nutrient extraction. Once your coffee grounds are thoroughly dried, place exactly 2 tablespoons of the dry grounds into a clean glass jar. Next, add 1 liter of room temperature water. Using water at this temperature is an absolute key step that many overlook. Some might think that using hot water would extract the nutrients faster, but hot water actually damages or kills the beneficial soil microorganisms that we want to encourage. Furthermore, high temperatures can alter the delicate chemical structure of the minerals and organic acids found in the coffee, making them less effective for plant absorption. Room temperature water allows for a gentle, cold brew extraction that preserves every single beneficial compound in its most natural, active state. Stir the mixture thoroughly, and then let the jar rest undisturbed for a full 24 hours to allow the nutrients to dissolve completely. After 24 hours of slow brewing, your coffee ground tea will have transformed into a rich, dark, earthy solution. Just like with the banana peel fertilizer, you must now use a fine sieve or a clean cloth to completely filter out all the solid sediment. Filtering out the coffee sediment is incredibly important. If left in the liquid, these tiny, highly acidic coffee particles will settle on the soil surface, forming an impermeable crust that blocks the root system's air pores, suffocating the roots and preventing them from taking in oxygen. Additionally, unfiltered sediment will attract unwanted pests like fungus gnats. By removing all solid particles, you are left with a purified, crystal-clear liquid nutrient solution that keeps the soil structure light, airy, and perfectly balanced. Before you apply this nitrogen-rich tea, remember to gently loosen the top layer of soil around the base of your plants to break up any surface tension, allowing this powerful nutrient solution to penetrate deeply and evenly into the root zone instead of washing away across the surface. Pour this dark, nutrient-dense solution directly onto the loosened soil once a week. When this liquid penetrates the earth, it does something truly remarkable that synthetic fertilizers could never replicate. It forms a microscopic biofilm layer around the plant's roots. This biofilm is packed with beneficial compounds that act as a natural shield, protecting the delicate root tissue from soil-borne pathogens. But the benefits of this coffee ground tea extend far beyond the root zone. The strong, deep aroma of the coffee, combined with its mild, natural acidity, acts as a highly effective, completely natural barrier against common garden pests. Slugs, snails, and ants absolutely detest the scent and chemical signature of coffee and will immediately steer clear of your treated plants. You get a powerful growth booster and a highly effective pest repellent all in one single chemical-free application. The results of this dual organic feeding system are nothing short of breathtaking. If you have a weak, spindly seedling that seems to be struggling for survival, start applying this coffee ground tea once a week, alternating with your banana peel elixir. What happened next in my trials surprised even the most experienced gardeners. Within just 30 days of starting this routine, a weak, yellowing seedling completely transformed. It developed a thick, sturdy main stem, and its sparse, pale leaves were replaced by a massive, bushy canopy of lush, deep green foliage. This is the undeniable power of organic, kitchen waste nutrition. By taking what most people consider trash, banana peels and coffee grounds, and processing them with patience and care, you can unlock a level of plant vitality that chemical fertilizers simply cannot match. Try this simple dual-action method in your own garden today. If you found these time-tested gardening secrets valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can continue nurturing our gardens together every single day. Share your own results and experiences in the comments below. I would love to hear how your plants respond to this homemade liquid gold. Until next time, happy gardening, and may your soil always be rich and your harvest always be bountiful.